There we go. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is our masterclass and mastermind for time management this month. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to share my screen. If I had something to share, there it is. There we go. Up. There we go. Okay, so time management. Um, well, you know me and you know the magazine, right? So the magazine is all about inspiring you all to really create the best life possible today. And that is just goes over whole areas of our lives. And that's what we're trying to achieve with the magazine. It's to talk about health, about wellness, about whatever we need to talk about that is going to make our lives better and easier, if I'm being honest, every single day. Okay, so about time management that we're talking this month, um, we had a challenge going on, and I did go through the challenge myself because I'm always trying to figure out if I need to improve. We always need to improve. We're never happy with how we manage our time, right? So I was a bit surprised by the results, but anyway, um, for me, time management is important because it's the difference between eating a healthy meal or takeaway. It's the difference between exercising or not. And all of these things are really important. And for a very long time, I would get up in the morning and I would feel behind already. Like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. How am I going to do everything? And that was really dragging on me. It was heavy and stressing me out. And the truth is, I was creating an urgency to my day that wasn't there. Nobody was putting this much pressure on me or on my time. I was doing a great job all on my own, just, stressing me out for no reason at all. And that's what I want us to not make that mistake again. Um, and for a long time, I thought that getting up very early was the key because everybody says, and I believe there is truth in that you should start early. You should, because you should. When you start earlier, you can do a lot of things before your day actually starts, especially if you have young children or if you have a job. I mean, that's sometimes the only time you get for yourself, which was not my case, by the way. I was just stressing myself out for no reason, and I was getting up early, and I was miserable doing it. And now I get up at between 6:30 and 7, more towards 7, if I'm being honest, and I get everything done anyway. At least I prioritize. I think that's one of the keys as well, is to prioritize what we have to do and how we go about our day. And for me, a very what I think for me was a game changer was when I started to set an intention for my day. Even before I get up, I just think what I want my day to unfold as. And usually it's a calm and productive day. Like it's almost a mantra. I really want a calm day and, a very productive day. And I get most of the stuff I want to do done in that day. And it's as simple as that. I think time slows down when you actually make that the point of saying what you want your day to be like, and don't feel rushed. For me, it was, all the rushing, all the feeling behind, because we need to decide how we want to our days to go about, and we need to decide what we're willing to do for that. So for me, usually, I set that intention and I get up, I do about a 10-minute workout, a stretching or a yoga, a small yoga class, and I get ready for my day. I have breakfast, and if I'm teaching, because I do teach sometimes, I get out the front door and I'm feeling ready for the day. I'm good. And if I'm home, before I even sit at my desk, I take care of lunch because I have people that come home for lunch, take care of laundry if it's one of those days, fill my coffee cup, my water bottle, and I sit down and that's it. I can start working and I'm not thinking about all the things that I should be doing with my time. Um, and I feel that's what's really been working really well for me. Let me stop sharing. And I just want to ask you if you do have a kind of routine, a kind of something that you do that you feel is really setting you up to have a great day. Anyone would like to share? No? No one? Yeah, go ahead, Sarah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Um, so a lot of times if I have a lot of things that I want to get done, I'll write them out like the night before
Mhm.
and then try and get through them. And if I don't get through everything, I try and do the most important things first. And then if something doesn't get done, I'll just go on to the next day and then
Does that stress you out when you don't do all the things, or it's just okay?
I mean, the stuff that is important, I make sure
Of course.
that's at the top of the list. And then, like, if I don't vacuum on a Monday, like I usually try to vacuum on Mondays. So if I don't vacuum on Monday, it's like, I'll just do it tomorrow. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
The
great point.
laundry.
Yeah. Anyone else would like to say something? Go ahead, Norma.
Trying to find my unmute button. Um, I love setting the intention, and the other thing that I try to do is how before I get out of bed in the mornings, how do I want to feel today? So I already, put it out there that I just want to, and a lot of times, I guess because I have so much chaos going on now, is the word that comes to mind. Like one word is I want to be calm today. I want to be present today. And by setting that sort of intention, that kind of helps me. But yeah, like very similar to you, like I have to start my meditation in the morning and then I exercise and I have it on my calendar. I time block on my calendar for those kind of things. And, I don't take any calls, I don't do any work. This is my time to set my foundation for the morning. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it's all about setting that intention. I think that really helps.
Thanks. Anyone else?
I'll share one thing I feel like it's been helping me. So when it comes to time management, I'm like not really good at it. But one thing is, before I even get out of my bed, like every morning, I just really feel like the bed or the ground supporting me. So I know like the day is okay, it's going to be beautiful. And then I just say a little bit of gratitude, like I'm grateful for the bed, grateful for like I'm awake and breathing.
Yep.
And that has helped me, in the past few months. Um,
That's
and then
amazing.
whatever my day is, it could be very calm or chaotic in terms of the schedule, but
Mhm.
I already feel grounded before I put my feet on the floor. So
That's good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Donna, do you want to share?
No, I'm actually trying to learn stuff here because I don't have a kind of set routine or anything. I don't have good time management, so I'm just trying to learn.
Good.
Thank you all for sharing. Great tips. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I think that I agree with everyone. Just setting that intention, making that list, being because at the end of the day, it's our day, it's our life, and we know what's important for us. So if we are going to create a list, let's make sure the important stuff is there. And then whatever happens is going to happen anyway. So it's just that we know where we stand, and so that we don't get frustrated. For me, frustration is a big thing, or that we don't get stressed because something important was not done. Okay, let me share again. There we go. Okay, so there are a couple of myths, well, three that I found. And one is we just need more time. If we had more time, all our problems would be solved, which is not actually true. You need to manage energy and priorities, not just your time. It's very important that we be very aware that it's like money. I'm a money person. So it's not, if you have all the money in the world, that's not what's going to help you. What's going to help you is how you manage it and how you manage yourself. And with time, it's the same thing. You really need to be intentional, and you really need to be careful, because do you know the saying, if you want something done, ask a busy person, because it's going to get done. Those that have a lot of time in my hands, and I know this to be true, because when I'm just working at home, I have my things to do. There are days that I just don't know where they went, honestly. And if I have to go out to do my job or whatever, things get done. Everything gets done. I took a lot of certifications when I was working full time, and I had my kids in school, and everything got done. So it really is how we set intention. And then we really don't want to set us up so that we feel like we failed when something doesn't go according to the plan. So another myth is multitasking is productive. Well, it reduces focus and efficiency. I'm a multitasker. I really am. I do a lot of stuff at the same time, but not when it matters. When it matters, I get focused and I do what needs to be done at that moment and what is the most important task. And another myth is rigid schedules create freedom. Well, not really. Flexibility with structure works the best. We can plan all we want. We can plan our days out to the second, but if we're not prepared for whatever the day is going to bring, because it's not just us, we are interacting with the world, with people, with things out there, and we never know what's going to happen. We only can, to a certain point, be sure of what we want to do or how we are going to show up and how we are going to contribute to that day for it to unfold the way we want. But we have to leave some space for whatever is going to come our way, and that we cannot control. Do you have any kind of experience with this? Do you agree that multitasking is the way to go, or do you have a different experience? Go on, Sharon.
I'm just laughing because I was a pharmacist working in hospital, and one of the super skill you should have is multitasking. And I'm just laughing because I think that's why every day, like after work, I was so drained. And because in the pharmacy, you have phone calls, you have all these things going on, and you just cannot focus. Like I had to learn to focus in like seconds. Like, okay, this is what I do in a second. Because then you'll get a phone call and somebody's asking you questions and you had to check medications. But I was exhausted. And sometimes in that situation, I just didn't even know what I did. What I was doing. Like I have to pick up. I had to spend more energy, go back. What was I doing? And in that setting, you have to be very careful too, right? So no, I don't I don't believe I don't believe multitasking is a superpower. It drains my energy a lot, in my experience.
Norma?
Well, I think unfortunately it's in our genes as women.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree that I multitask. I can be cooking dinner or lunch and taking care of laundry and listening to music, and that's kind of the extent of it, because I cannot be reading or even be and yeah, or even thinking about anything else other than not letting my food burn or something, right?
Yeah, but I do agree, being single-minded focused is a lot more productive.
It is, and if we are batching people, if we block time and we batch the same kind of activities together, it takes a lot less energy from us than always jumping from one to the other, one task to another task, right?
Yeah.
Um, at least that's my experience as well. And my superpower was multitasking as well. But I think that in a time that we are trying to be present and mindful, and that multitasking is just not the way to go. It really drains our energy. I agree.
Yeah. I've even tried to put like my phone on do not disturb and
Mm,
because that's the biggest distractor. You're focused on work or whatever
mm.
and you get a notification and I've got FOMO, right? So, it's like, oh, I got a notification. What is it? And then, oh, then you're on Facebook and there goes 20 minutes because you get, into the reels.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, you know what? The other day I now have my email open on my browser, right? And I have to hide it because I see a one there, an email popped up, and I'm like, I'm not gonna look at it. I'm not gonna look at it. I'm working. And then I think somebody's probably dying and they need me right now and they decided to email me, right? I don't know. So I go and check, and then, oh, I forgot that I had that email there that needs an answer. And then, another thing, and there goes 2 hours and I'm still, nowhere near finished what I was doing. I was just playing in my emails. So yes, FOMO is a big one. And that's why I don't have notifications on my phone. I have sometimes when my kids are not home or when I know my sister's going to message me, I have Messenger, but anything like WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever that I don't have notifications because it just drives me crazy because I want to know if I see that little thing, I have to go and check it out because you know I just can't concentrate because there's a ping there. So no. No multitasking. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so during the challenge that we did, I looked at different methods from the Eisenhower matrix to the Pomodoro method and everything in between. And like I said, I'm always trying to be more productive. I'm always trying to figure out how I can better manage my time. And, for me, it's not even about giving all the things. I don't give them the same attention at the same time. Okay. I always have a lot of stuff going on, always. I like it. I like being busy and doing things. I really like doing a lot of different things. And for example, from the 15th until at least the 25th of each month, I am focusing on the magazine. I am putting it together. I am reading articles. I am creating articles. And I won't be doing a lot of networking during that time. Sometimes I do have like a speaking thing scheduled, but I've prepared for that in advance. And I can do a lot of things there, but my main focus is going to be the magazine, because I really want to make it the best I can. I need to get it out to people. Now, before that, from the beginning of the month until the 15th, I'm waiting on articles. I'm connecting with people that I think are a good fit to be contributors to the magazine. And there's a lot of things. And during that time, I'm writing my blog, or filming something, preparing challenges. But from the 15th until at least the 25th, I'm not doing a lot of that. I'm showing up to the things I need to show up for my commitments, but creatively, I won't be spending much of my energy anywhere else, because I really need to get focused, and I really need to make sure I'm there, present, because that's very important to me. That's like my biggest project that I have, and it's important that it gets better each time. It's important for me to be proud of it. It's important that I can share it with people, and try to get people to subscribe or become members, whatever. And so it's important that I do the bulk of the work, that I'm really concentrated on it. So I do some of the connecting, and then after the 25th, I am doing everything social media. I'm putting everything out there about the magazine. I'm talking about it everywhere I can talk about it. I'm posting about it. I'm sending out emails. So, and it doesn't mean that I don't focus on other things. I do. I also focus on teaching, for example. But again, it's like a season. My month is separated. It's like different seasons. And for me, I need to, when I'm looking at all the different methods of time management, I really needed to see which one would be the best for me. I block my calendar, but I'm a very special person, of course, and I need to see that blocked for a couple of weeks before I actually start doing what I've written there. I need to see it there, and I think, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. And I need to see it again and see it again. And by the end of 2 weeks, most 2 weeks, I will be doing what I said I would be doing at that time. And it's blocked in my calendar, and I know I'll be doing that. But it takes me a while to adapt. And before, I would just get frustrated, because I'd say, I'll put it in my calendar, it's happening. Well, it's not. I feel, I realize that that's just not me. I have a hard time with change. I have a hard time. So I can either get frustrated with myself, or I can just learn and know that I am like that, and that in a week or 2 weeks, I will be doing what my calendar says I'm going to be doing. Unless I'm committed to someone about doing something that I need to show up, it's going to take me a while to get there. But that's just who I am, and I've decided I don't want to be frustrated with it anymore. I just gave in, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay. And so that's the method that I prefer, is to block time in my calendar. I like the colors. I like that it's always there. I just look at it, and I start my day that way. I start putting everything there, and I like Google Calendar, because you just put there once, and then it goes for the whole year. You don't have to think about it anymore. So it's always there. And for example, the Pomodoro method is not for me, because again, it takes a lot of energy for me to work 20 minutes on something, or 25 minutes, and then change, have a break, and then come back to it. It's too much. If I'm working and if I'm in the zone, I'd rather work for a full hour straight. There are days that I can't, but that's just me, my energy. I'm not there. My head is not in the game. So I can't. It's very difficult for me. But whenever I am focused, I'd rather work like for an hour and then I can take a break for 10 or 15 minutes, whatever. But it it doesn't help me to have the timer go off, if that makes sense, every 25 minutes. It's a distraction for me, and then I'm always thinking, oh, I only have 10 more minutes, and it's like I'm waiting for the thing to go off, and it's not going off. So yeah, I'm always looking. So that's very distracting for me. I found it really, really complicated. And so, but by testing all of this, my end goal was to learn what would actually work for me. And it doesn't mean that we can only have blocking time or Pomodoro or Eisenhower. No, it means that you make it your own. You create something that really speaks to you. Because it's your time, it's your day. You know what's important to you. You know what you want to get accomplished that day. Nobody else. Okay, Norma, please.
So I believe, so the Eisenhower is the four quadrants,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
So like most important, but less.
Urgent. Yeah.
But so the Pomodoro, is that, so you mentioned it's a timer, but is the intent to stop when the timer goes off?
Yes, and take a break, 5-minute break.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
then set the timer again.
And yes,
Hmm.
yes. It breaks, and a lot of people say it keeps them concentrated because that way they get up, they walk a little bit, they drink a glass of water, and they come back, they sit down. But for me, it was just very distracting. I mean, I was just hoping that thing would go off. It wouldn't go off. I would keep checking it. Maybe I said it wrong, whatever. No, that just kept me distracted.
Yeah, I
So
don't know if that would work for, like, I've got the iWatch, and I don't know if it's 20 minutes or 40 minutes, it's like time to stand up. And I'm like, I don't have time to stand up. Leave me alone.
exactly. So the Pomodoro is kind of like that.
Yeah,
And hey,
okay.
you know what? We can create our own method, but we should try things to see whatever works for us or not. There is a Pomodoro method. Pomodoro means tomato in Italian. And it's called that because the guy that coined the method was using a timer that he had from his kitchen, and it was in the shape of a tomato, and that's what gave it the name. So come on, we can create anything. We can really, really do whatever we want, and it's important. And I think challenges are important, not so that we, for example, this one, the time one, so that we get really focused on only blocking our time or only using a certain method. No, it gives you a week for you to see if you like the method or not, to see if it's something you'd like to really explore for a longer period of time. And for me, straight away, like the second day, I just wanted to throw the timer, because it was just making me nervous and stressed because I, I don't know, it's just something wasn't clicking up here. And the blocking is awesome. For me, that's what I really enjoy the most. The Eisenhower, you know what? I do like Sarah. The most important are like three non-negotiables for the day. And the rest, whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to be stressed. And what the Eisenhower method did for me, which is important and urgent, important, not urgent, not urgent, not important, not important, urgent, whatever it is. And the last one was not important and not urgent. Why the heck are we doing it then if it's not important and not urgent, right? Come on. So that's just kind of, that was like, oh, yeah, no, we're not doing that. I mean, if nobody cares, why should we, right? Um, so that's kind of where my mind was going through this challenge. And it was a very good challenge, actually. I enjoyed it. It wasn't, it was a bit heavy at the beginning because, we feel like, oh, our time is going to be um, shrunk, that we're not going to have time to do everything, which is not true. And I at the end of the day and the challenge, I came up with, okay, I really need to set that intention for my day every day. And I actually have a lot of time when I do that. When I really set that intention to have a calm and productive day, I have time to do everything. I have time to go on my walk. I have time to cook. I have time to do the work I need to do, online or not. And I don't feel drained. And I agree with Sharon, with the gratitude. Whenever I do a gratitude practice, I feel so much better and everything is more aligned, if you will. So at the end, it's what resonates most with you. And that's what you should choose to do. It's not because somebody is telling you that, do this or do that, that's going to work for you. That's not it. Because if you're dragging your feet like I am until I finally give in, it's not worth your energy or your time. You're just wasting your time. That's my opinion. That's what I came up after doing the challenge myself. So here it is. This is the timer that the guy used. His name was Francesco Cirillo. Okay, so he had a timer and he started putting his 25 minutes there, and then for 5 minutes he would get up and go for a walk and whatever. But that's just not what works for me. So there are 4 pillars of time mastery, and the first one would be identify distractions. This is a good one. So recognize, and like Norma says, it's the the notifications, it's the always checking. No, have some time to do that, and don't give in, or emails for that matter. So recognize what frequently disrupts your focus, using the matrix to help prioritize. So what's important and urgent and what's not. The planning, like time blocking or batching. If you are going to write, maybe you can, write 2 or 3 emails or 2 or 3 blog posts or whatever it is. I know that Sara, she creates products, she makes soap. And when she's doing that, she can do it like if it was in a line. She creates the batch, she puts it in the molds, and she can go on and do that and do that. And then when they're all ready, she can set a time aside time so that she can cut her soap, she can try it, she can take the photos, she can package it. Because if she does one and then she goes and packages and then she does another one and then she has to wait, and then while she's waiting she's doing nothing, and then and we can kind of program these things. So and also working with our energy levels, I think that's important as well. Then there's boundaries, saying no or yes, managing interruptions and creating time buffers. This is a big one, and it's always been a very big one for me. I'm a little bit better at it. I now don't say yes straight away. Well, unless I really, 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 really want to do it. I'm always checking my schedule. And my son the other day said, you know what, you should put that damn schedule on your phone. Well, it's there, but nobody needs to know, do they? No. So I'll check it at home and then I'll tell them. And our mindset, setting the intentions and shifting the way we talk to ourselves, the way we say things. I don't have time to, I choose what matters. This is, oh, I should, no, we shouldn't do anything. We choose to do something, or we really want to do something. And I think that's really important, the way that we speak to ourselves. So, yeah, so that's what I have for you today. Time mastery isn't about squeezing more into your day, it's about making space for what truly matters. And I do hope that today's session gave you, some tools and especially motivation to take back control of your time. Yeah, so this is what I have for us today. Do you have any final thoughts, any tips that would help us all out?
So I did download an app that someone told me about. It's called Reclaim AI. So it's an AI tool,
Mhm.
and it's free. And it works with your Google Calendar, and you can put habits in there, or you can put events in there. You can categorize it. You'll love it, Sarah, because it's full of colors.
Yes.
They created it just for you. But it's funny because like at 2 o'clock, I have on my calendar to walk the dogs. And it's like, it's my daily habit. 2 o'clock, I walk the dogs.
Nice.
So, and it's like I see it, and it's like if I don't do it, I'm like, but it's on my calendar. I have to do it. So,
Mm.
but it's cool. Reclaim.ai.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I'll check it out. Anyone else? Anything else you'd like to know? Or yes, Sarah, go.
So I had tried the time blocking before, and I think I was being too precise with it. So I've started now because I take my daughter to school. I'm up at 5:20, take my daughter to school. She goes to school like a long way away. So I know that from like, you know, 8, I'm usually home between 8:15, 8:30. So like I'll block 8:30 to 9:30 for exercise. So it might only take me an hour, but like I give myself a buffer.
Good.
And then like before it was like, okay, 15 minutes, I'm gonna do this for 15 minutes, and it did not
No,
work out well at all.
because then you always feel like you're behind, even though
Yeah.
it's you putting the pressure on yourself. And
And I do that.
there you go. No. Yeah, do give yourself a bigger buffer. And then if it's too long, then you can adjust. But don't start with too little, because it's not going to be enough. And that is going to keep nagging at you, saying that you're not doing things right. I much rather give myself longer. And then if I say, oh, I have 10 minutes to spare 2 or 3 days in a row, I always have the same 10 minutes, then I can adjust and cut those 10 minutes, and I'll feel, yes, I'm saving time, instead of having that mentality that we're behind. We're actually, we have 10 more minutes than I had yesterday. So, and that's going to influence us, because again, it's the mindset. If we start thinking that, oh, I don't have enough time, we're never going to have enough time. We're never going to have enough anything, because that's just what we are programming ourselves to think. So if we think, and if we say, no, I actually have a lot of time, and you give yourself that time to really see what works, I think that's a great idea. That's a great starting point. Donna? No?
No, I don't have anything, but thank you all. I
No,
learned
but
a lot.
yeah, and you are never behind. You see, it's your day, it's your time.
Right, right. I've got to start owning that. Yes.
I think so, yes. And just set the intention for the day. Like, at what time you have to be at work or whatever, however your day works. And you just say, I'm always on time, actually. I'm a
Well, actually, I'm working from home more now. So I'm getting like the distractions though that are coming in. Like somebody texted me about a work thing. And I started typing back, and then I was like, no, okay, I'm watching this now, So I'll get to her when it's done and just continued and focused my attention on this.
Oh, good. Yeah. And it is a habit that we form, because I remember that when everybody started working from home, before they had to commute, and they would get there barely on time, but then they were home, and guess what? They were getting barely on time on to their computer. So, it's a mindset thing. It must be right, because if we are commuting, for an hour, and then we're home and we're still not on time, there's a problem somewhere.
No, well, that I've got somewhat control over. I'm like,
Of course.
um, I'm getting more done being home more because I'm cutting out the traveling time. So, like, I get up, have breakfast, I could be right on the computer because I'm always on it anyway for other things. So that I'm finding is working out.
Good. So that's a plus.
Yes. Thanks.
Okay, anything else anybody else would like to add or say or talk about? Good? Yeah. Well, thank you very, very much for showing up. Thank you so much for being here. I will be putting this in the Facebook group, if everybody's okay with that. And yeah, thank you. And next month, we're talking about nutrition. It's Nutrition Month in Canada, and France is hosting the Nutrition Summit in March. So, yeah, we're going to be talking all about nutrition. Thank you so much again for being here.